Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Tom from Zhora. How are you, Tom?
I'm all good, man. Yourself?
Very good. You had a bit of an old spin down, fair play to you. How long did that take?
About 3 hours, just under.
Okay.
If you drive like me, you can shave a few minutes off here and there.
Actually, who's the designated driver for you on tour as normal?
Me or Pancho, usually.
Really, yeah?
Yeah. Batman can drive as well. He does the odd bit. Colin doesn't have his license yet, I don't think, but between the four of us, we make it happen, you know?
Yeah. And have you got a van yet, or what do you do kind of storage-wise?
We were, years back now, we started renting a van from Andy from Five Will Die.
Oh, okay.
RAP.
Yeah.
And the van RAP as well, he was telling me recently. But that was the first van we started renting.
Right.
And we got that to whacking and back.
Oh, Jesus,
Now,
okay.
whether that contributed to the ultimate demise of the van, I'm not really sure, but, we'll give it a send-off.
Right. And what do you do nowadays?
Mostly because we're getting the ferry, and any of the gigs we'd be playing, they'd be breakables and stuff, so we just take my car.
Okay.
Unless they're fly-ins. If they're fly-ins, we'll, lug the gear ourselves on the plane.
Right.
The usual kind of stuff,
Yeah.
No tour bus, but...
Yeah. There's Pavel has a fine motor now.
That's a fine motor, yeah.
Isn't it? He pulled up in it there for the last Forums podcast. I was well impressed with it, but you kind of need guys like that as well. I'm sure he helps people out as well. Bringing stuff from
road warrior, that fella. He'll do it for a jar of pickles as well, which is cheap pay,
It is cheap pay.
Could have.
Oh, Lord. So, first of all, congratulations on the new single, man. Coke Vulture.
Yeah, cheers, boy.
I love it. What you think yourself? Have you got much feedback from it?
Yeah, people that are interacting with it and interacting with us seem to love it.
Yeah.
It's definitely the best sounding single or release that we have.
Yeah.
They all sound great.
Yeah. The single itself, the last part of it, the chorus there, how did that come about?
Misery Dust for All.
Yeah.
The story of that song is it's written about a friend of mine.
Okay.
And dedicated to a friend of mine.
Right.
Who basically was a drug dealer and had a problem with drugs at the same time. Mm-hmm. Not a great mix, Right. Don't get high on your own supply, as they always say.
Yeah.
But the song is not about him specifically. It's about the kind of person that has their main interaction would be to turn up and take what they're getting.
Yeah.
And then once the deed is done, they don't care about what the other person is going through, the dealer, we'll say.
Okay.
They get their coke and they leave.
Right.
As is the interaction with any kind of drug-based, transaction.
Yeah.
You turn up, you get your bit of stuff, and you leave. And then it's just a lot easier to leave whatever misery and whatever hardship the other person is going through by the wayside, because, you've had your little dalliance with...
For the weekend.
Yeah, for the weekend or however long it is, and you go back to whatever you're doing, and that's it. Once the bag is done, you're done. Your interaction, first it stops with the money changing hands or whatever, and then you're gone. You're gone back to your own social group, your own circle, and that's it for you. But then real life still happens on the other side, and there's lines in it that are kind of specific to that. But at the same time,
I suppose there's consequences as well.
There is consequences, It's easy to feel happy about yourself or confident or whatever after you're shoving a gram of what a cartel will murder someone over.
True, yeah.
Do you know? But then I have to implicate myself in that. I have to implicate all. If basically it comes down to, if you took something from him, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of self-loading in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a line in it: we are all to blame.
Yeah.
We are all to blame.
Yeah.
It does. There's no kind of no, but it's okay because I'm his friend. It's kind of almost worse in that way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. Yeah. And you're still going to write it off as just being part of life. Yeah. So fucking misery dust for all.
Yes, and it's very, very relevant at the moment, man. It's just widespread.
The boom is back.
The boom is back.
You go into a toilet in any fucking pub, man, and you just hear the chopping and the sniffing. The boom is fucking back, baby.
Yeah, and around 4 lads in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
You
see it at a wedding as well, you just kind of see these lads kind of come out of a door, try the toilet door, and they're all doing this little shuffle, clapping the hands, rubbing them together.
Yeah.
It's the Coke shuffle.
I know, yeah. What's worrying though is it's gone down, the age profile has gone down alarmingly.
Yeah.
You're talking about 14 and 15-year-olds now. There was a piece during the week that they're actually budgeting for their debs with their Coke as well, which is insane, So yeah, it's a very relevant topic, and a great first single as well, I must say. Just want to talk about hostile media.
Basically, we finished up recording in September of last year.
Right, okay.
And last year being
2019. I think I saw
2018.
That on Facebook that you said we're putting the finishing touches to our upcoming release, and that was January 2019.
Yeah, see, we recorded it September. Yeah, it was September. It was 2018.
Right.
And then towards the end of the year,
Jesus, okay, I didn't realise it was that far.
It was a while,
back,
and we just ran into a few little bumps in the road and whatever else you want to say about it. But yeah, it was just a long time coming. But at that time, I had got in touch with Andrew Pennington from Hostile Media just to see if he'd be interested.
Okay.
And as we'd funded the whole thing ourselves, did the artwork, everything ready to go.
Right.
Just basically giving him a finished package, just seeing would he be interested, and he was, and that's kind of how it went from there.
Okay. For those that don't know, they're an independent kind of record and publishing label in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
They've quite a lot of Irish acts on it as well.
They have a couple, yeah.
Yeah, Overwrought, Ketos, Head Fuzzy, and Draconius, actually, who I want to give a shout out to. They're releasing their new album. I think it might be this weekend even.
I think they have the first single out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blessed by Embers is the name of the album title. And of course, it's a concept album. That leads me nicely along to my next question.
All right.
Your last album, Ethos.
Ethos, Pathos, Logos.
Yeah, that was a concept album. Would you go down that road again, first of all?
I think I wouldn't put so many eggs into the basket of trying to make songs fit a narrative.
Okay.
Because what we had done, was we got the story first. Now we were writing songs, you know, and then we kind of got a narrative going because I had said to the lads, let's write a concept album, instead of kind of going down the route of like, let's make another album.
Right.
Let's go mad. Let's go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
So I wrote a narrative and then wrote songs around it, more or less. We were still writing songs as we regularly do. But then you're trying to fit in songs that like, well, we need a song for this chapter. Okay. And we need a song for this chapter. And then it has to sound like there was a lot of...
It sounds very complicated as well.
It was and it wasn't. And then you get so close to it that you kind of can't move past the part. And then
that's
because there was... That album is like fucking an hour and a bit, You get so close to it that you kind of forget where you are in the story, and then you're struggling with the song, and then does it narratively fit and all this stuff. I mean, the end of the album is supposed to be like a spaceship taking off.
Right.
And maybe you get that, maybe you don't. I don't think I hear it.
Yeah. That's news to me as well, actually.
But, there's all this stuff going on. And then would I go down the route of it again? Yeah, but I don't think I'd write it as... I wouldn't make it the active album that we're planning on releasing. I think that thing is best worked on in the background.
Yeah.
To just start writing songs and kind of go, this could work for the concept album, that could work for the concept album, and then just keep doing either EPs or singles just to keep it fresh and keep stuff coming out rather than writing off another 3-4 years to go down the rabbit hole.
Did you feel that your performances suffered because of it?
Yeah, big time. I mean, I can't remember exactly how many days to do the drums. I want to say after getting all the tones and stuff, which is a full day, we had maybe 3 days, and I got them done to the best of my ability at the time.
Right.
And could I have delivered more? Yeah, I think we all could have. Like, definitely we reached a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And didn't deliver it 100%. And then you're dealing with like self-editing, and what we'd done, the way we did it was we recorded all the drums first.
Right.
So then the map of the songs was it.
Okay.
And then it was like, right, now we had the ideas and the riffs and everything else, but there was no undoing it. So there was demo process, but it wasn't as laborious as we probably should have done for the work we're trying to put in.
Yeah. What about the lyrical team with that album? Did you struggle with it, or did you have that narrative right through it? That wasn't too much of a problem. Just throwing your
But
mind.
because it was a concept album, it's kind of like throw something at a wall and see what'll stick, you know, to the narrative. And the narrative was basically about language, the use of language.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And that's what
I picked that up.
Pathos
Yeah,
Logos is. So it's just how you can persuade people of something, whether they want to be persuaded or if it's something that they might not necessarily identify with. You can use words to convince them of any point of view. There exists a sequence of words to convince anybody of anything.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
So then, how do you write a story about that? And then, because it's a concept album and we're a prog metal band or whatever the hell we are, we're like, okay, so there's this guy, but also aliens, but also cannibalism, but also a spaceship, you know. And then it just, that's the humor in it, you know, because like there's an element of humor in anything metal. I mean, we're all individuals, we all wear black, you know, we're all really into it, you know, we're like safeguard the morals of it or whatever, you know.
Yeah. True.
But then, you know, you'll still find metal lads listening to 80s.
Oh yeah,
and dance hits, you know, and the cheesy stuff.
Yeah. So when you gathered then to discuss, I suppose, ideas and maybe I suppose the whole concept of the new album, which is Mortals, what was the kind of thought process, we'll say, at the early stages?
Not to think.
Right, okay.
Really, it was about not thinking as much and learning the lesson from the last one, which was there's really great moments of magic on this. You know, a producer would have said, this doesn't need to be 32 bars, it should be 4.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know. And then not writing to essentially a script.
Right.
So we just went in and started writing songs, and pretty soon we found it was coming a lot quicker. It's coming a lot easier. Now, we had initially planned to get an album's worth, which I'd say is like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We were writing another song and we just didn't have it ready, so we put a pin in that. That is now split and turned into 2 songs. But definitely found it coming a lot easier. Like, there's a song, the second song in the album is called Hellfire.
Yeah.
That came from, Pancho had this riff. So then we were playing it one particular way. I said, hang on, let's double time the speed of this or whatever.
Right.
Me and Colin wrote that song in an hour and a half, the two of us, in the practice space, because it was just coming.
Yeah.
And it was just coming. And that's the cool thing about not writing to a script. There was no border. There was no enforced kind of like box to stay in.
How important then was Rootless Bastards as a feeler?
Massive. Because I mean, that Rootless Bastards. That song started as a joke. Right. The working title for that was Tropes, because I was like, listen, just as a refresher, clear the air and clear our brains after this big stuffy concept album, let's write a song that has every trope from all, from loads of subgenres of metal. So let's do the black metal thing, let's do the death metal thing, let's do the thrash thing, etc, etc, etc. And it was funny for a while, and then we kind of realized that, like, hey, there's something here now, there's something here. And then we wrote it, and it started coming together pretty quickly. And then the vocals came after it. And then I think that's the first song that we did with vocals, where we've had everyone singing on songs before where they might have their own separate parts, but everybody's part on this added to it. Yeah. You know, I think you can hear on Ethos Pathos Logos that even now as we play them live, it's not sung the way it is. And it was like me and Colin kind of butting heads, and I want to sing on this. I want to sing on that. And then too many cooks, basically, is the main thing. So then that was a good blueprint, Rootless Bastards, because it was, for a joke song, it was the best song. Yeah, the reception was really good. It was incredible. You know, I remember talking to Colin about it, and I just went, holy shit, this is serious. Are you going to go down that route? And he was there, I think so, I says, fair play to you, I mean. So that kind of stood out for me as kind of going, I hope they're actually going to change and go that direction. So, of course, you have the key to the album. Is it very much that kind of process? Yeah. Okay. It's definitely not as laborious. Riff-driven. Riff-driven 100%. You know, the subject matter, the lyrics is definitely more direct, a lot
Okay.
more direct. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're writing a song like Coke Vulture, you know,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
you know, and the lyrics in that song and the lyrics in all the other songs, they're pretty, while they're still, you know, the metaphors and this, that, it's fairly obvious what the songs are about.
Yeah. Is
know.
it an album steeped in frustration, maybe?
100%. Absolutely. I mean, frustration at how long the last one took, you know, and then you do a press for it, and then you give a PR company essentially an unmarketable album,
Right. Okay.
and you go, no, you fix it, you know. And then they were like, okay, we'll do our best.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the results don't come back because you've given them a fucking unmarketable album.
Yeah.
So there's a frustration there.
Mhm.
There was a frustration with stuff that we didn't deal with, like Richie's brain tumor,
Okay. Yeah. Geez,
you know,
right. Yeah.
which happened when we were at Wacken. You know, it's supposed to be on top of the world.
Mm.
And then you get on stage and, you know, tensions were frayed at that point just for a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know, that definitely did not help.
Yeah.
You know, I know people that had cut their leg off to play Wacken.
Yeah.
And then you come up there and you have all this other stuff in your head, and then you go out and you're like, okay, now play the best gig of your life. Ugh.
Yeah.
And Deer in the Headlights. And then, funnily enough, the same thing happened to Bloodstock, Deer in the Headlights.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as Wacken.
Okay.
We played a passable gig,
Right.
I would say.
I think it has to be said and recognised as well. As a band, you're very honest. With each other,
I can't lie
Yeah.
about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, especially after, like, when you leave things unsaid, you know, and this kind of ties into what you were saying. When you leave things unsaid, no matter what the reason behind, you know, like a perceived slight or some argument that you had with someone, when you leave something unsaid, it just festers.
Yeah.
You know, so like me and Colin have, like, we haven't come to physical blows, but, you know, there was like a big fucking button of heads there between a lot of stuff, and like, it was just stuff that was left unsaid, you know, and then, you know, you have to sit down and clear the air, and then you have to really be on yourself to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of say the thing and do the hard thing and kind of, you know, rip open the wound and clear out the maggots and everything
Yeah.
else, because otherwise it's just going to be bad.
Presumably, the best time to do that, obviously, is sober.
Yeah. I mean, you can all get the frustrations out and say this, that, and whatever else over a few pints.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have, you know, that icebreaker, but when you're relying on it
Yeah.
to get the honesty, it cheapens it.
It does, and as well as that, it's the consequences the next day again, trying to remember what was said. You know?
Nearly want to be taking minutes.
But I mean, look, it is what it is, and as I said, it's a credit to you that you're so open and honest about it. Like, I mean, it definitely helped with the shaping of this album anyway as well.
Yeah, 100%, because it was less about, I want to say the last album was like, in terms of like the drive behind it, we write songs democratically, you know, that is it.
Okay.
And it's all about, I have an idea, let's try the idea. He has an idea, let's try his idea. And that'll lead us down a rabbit hole, sometimes doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why it takes us so fucking long to write songs.
Yeah.
Because we'll try everything, literally everything. And we get better at it, But this one, compared to the last one, which was about, like, I would say 70% me driving the push behind it, this was a lot more, I have an idea for a song, I think it should go this way, such and such and such. And then you trust the person, then you go, okay, this really worked out up until this point.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and that's what you get. That's what you get after nearly a decade in a band, that you just learn what's the best way to say someone and just not be a prick about it, you know. Because I mean, you can get very attached to your idea of a song, you know, and then you get an album like that. Our last album was not bad by any stretch, like, you know. But the thing is, you could get 3 albums worth of albums out of the stuff in it.
And what about Alan's performance on this one? Has he settled in nicely?
Class, yeah, really good. Really brought, because he's an engineer as well, and he understands sound and EQ so much. And he's a shocking good bass player. You know, shocking good.
Shocking good.
Yeah.
So the artwork, how did you settle on?
James Sheridan.
James Sheridan, yes.
I think it was Colin's suggestion.
Okay.
In fact, I'm really sure it was Colin's suggestion. We'd seen him do stuff with Lenkus.
Oh,
and
yes,
a few others.
yeah.
So I think he did, what was the one? The Crossing.
He was with Conjure. He did Conjure stuff as well. Norma Jean Baylor as well. I think a
Yeah,
posters
so
for Baylor.
he's done a lot, like, you know.
Yeah.
But You know, the last one was a big spacey, weird concept album, so you want a concept album thing with loads of colour on it. And this was just grim and stark and a lot of rage and a lot of pain, a lot of personal pain in it. So it was like fucking black and white.
Yeah.
You know, and a big dirty thing on the front of it. And I love it. It's my favourite one. You know, your newest thing is always your favourite thing, but I think that will be hard to match.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm sure James probably has a dark side to him as well, which
if he's drawing shit like that,
which he
hate
definitely
to see his therapy bill, you know.
I like a quote off him there. He said, "My art is where I can express that side of me in a healthy way and turn it into a positive experience that connects with people." So that's directly from James. I think we can all recognise that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you put that rage somewhere positive. You use it for something good, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. So you were doing stuff as well with Unknown Productions. I think they did the promo vid for Knockin Soccer as well, I think. It was the weird one with the dolls.
The dolls. Do you know what? I think... No, he was at Knockin Soccer and he shot a video for us that'll be released next month.
Okay.
And he did a lot of other videos for us as well. He did a load of videos for us. So we've like playthroughs for 3 songs. We have... that music video, and then we have the entirety of Knockin Soccer.
Right.
That video that you're talking about, I think Colin actually did.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus,
and I did the music because I was like, I want something weird, and then I was scrolling. I have a really bad habit of taking like voice recordings of conversations.
Okay.
Not to like, you know, have like a big pile of dirt on people, but like somebody be talking about something interesting, and I'll go, yeah, something interesting here. So I was talking to my mother one night. And I don't know how we got onto it, but she started talking about this song that my sister's husband sings to the kids.
Okay.
And she sang it.
Right.
And I knew that this was going to be something cool. So I just kind of slyly, I had the phone ready to go on the table, you know. I was like, can you sing that again? Press record on the sly. And I got it. And I got the snippet of it. And then just manipulated it and cut it together and stuff and put it on the thing.
Jesus,
and now that I hear it back, I was like, I should have put that in the album.
Jesus Christ. That was so, like, it was so strange. It was like something out of, like, I honestly thought, like, here we go, like Rob Zombie all day long, do you know, any of his stuff, like, and his work.
But that's our live intro now.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just weird, you know.
Yeah.
But that Knockin Soccer show was great. We did a Rickroll.
Yeah.
We Rickrolled the entire audience. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So explain what a Rickroll is for anybody that doesn't know.
A Rickroll is, I think it started in like the 2000s, but basically internet thing. Someone sends you a link. It's like, aha, check this out. And they click on it and it just sends you straight to Rick Astley, never going to give you up.
Oh my God.
And of course, we put that in the middle of Rootless Bastards.
Yeah.
So
cool.
just to turn it on his head completely. And then we just went on with the rest of the set like nothing happened. And you could see people just kind of going,
paused.
What? But they loved it.
Oh, brilliant. I just want to bring you back. I think, have you got an instrumental on the album? Is it the Hollow? No?
It's not an instrumental, but there's a big pile of instruments in it.
Okay.
The Hollow is one of Colin's ones lyrically. I think it's the first song we actually started to write for the new stuff. We have like, I don't know, a safe of riffs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many's in there now, but a lot. And we do tend to, like, you know, keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
We use as much as we can.
Yeah.
There's still a few in there that we haven't used. But I just like to hang on to stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But that riff, I think, was in there for, I don't know how long, but a while anyway. And then we just revisited it. And then, you know, after learning the lessons from the last song and some advice we got from other bands, like Sean from 10 Ton Slug said something like, you know, the riffs are class. You just don't play them long enough.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Here's the same riff for like 2 minutes long.
I actually said that to Colin a few times as well. Lads, just settle on 1 or 2 riffs and just bring them a bit further on.
It's just like
too
there's
much
a real
twisting and turning. Like,
that's what I like about the band. You know, there's a spastic kind of energy to it. You know, it's just like, you know, the kid that's had too much coffee. He shouldn't have been drinking coffee anyway, but he's had a load of it.
Yeah. Also, there's like a few more titles I want to go through. Wall of Time.
That's another one of Colin's. Started out. That was another riff or section of a song that sometimes we've trouble with mid sections. We know where we start and we know where we want to get to.
Right.
But then the middle part can be a problem. I think that song was another one where it took a little bit of time. But we were working on that for a while, and then like we'd work on it and kind of go, do you know what, this isn't going anywhere for a while, and then just work on something else.
Right, okay.
Lyrically, that's another one of Colin's. General loss and mourning, death especially, I think. But yeah, there's a nice bit of weird vocals towards the end of that.
Right, okay.
A lot of kind of dual, triple layered stuff from me and Pancho. It's really good. It's just, especially across this album, I think the vocal performances are, I'm not going to say you can't touch them, but they're really good.
Yeah.
You know, the technicality in terms of the instrument performances, fantastic. But the vocals on this are really, really good.
Yeah, that's cool. Of course, shout out to Aidan Cunningham.
Absolutely.
There,
that guy is a wizard. Like,
yeah.
He's a real, like, he's very, you wouldn't notice how much he's doing in terms of producing on the spot until you sit back and, you know, kind of realize what you've been doing for the last hour, and then you've gone down. Usually you might take an hour to go down one particular rabbit hole or try something out, and he'll just know what's right.
Okay, he'll leave you go down there, in other words.
Yeah, depending on what it is, you know, like vocals are obviously the one that are the least committal. You know, an instrument take is like, once it's done, more or less, but he'd always have the right idea. He'd always have the right advice to give. And when it came to mixing it, very receptive of, like, I'm particular about mixing. You know, I kind of can mix myself, but I know what I want to hear, and like I want this vocal throw here and this phase here. And he'll always try it, and he'll know if it's not going to work, and he'll explain why.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, and that's invaluable to me, because one thing is just drives me nuts is like, that won't work. Yeah. Like, how'd you know?
Yeah, so that's another one of his strengths.
Absolutely.
Demotivator.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
Okay.
That's one of mine. That is a suicide song.
Oh, okay.
That is a big, big suicide song. Dark times, my own, personally, over the last couple of years, you know.
Right.
Some grim stuff. There's like, I mean, it's an autobiographical thing, insofar as the feelings, not particular attempts, suffice to say, but there's enough in there to realize it's like, oh man, that's, you know, that's some heavy subject matter or whatever. But at the same time, I wanted the song to be something like, I believe very much so in wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
You know, that if you feel like shit, it's okay to feel like shit. You know, and one thing that is unhealthy to do is to tell someone that the emotions they're displaying are like bad. Yeah. Emotion is emotion, it comes out and that's it. Yeah. You have to be able to, whatever the interaction or the thing is, you have to have enough time to work through it. You can't just turn it off. No. You know? Yeah. So that, for me, that song is like, I feel like this, and this is, you know, the worst possible thing I could think of. Now I feel better. Right. You know? And like at the end of it, it's like all this really dark imagery, and at the end of it, it's just like, choose life.
Do you feel, particularly with that song, that the music helped you pull through there, or was there other factors as well? Was it a combination of a few factors? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing it. It's generally what we start the set with. Yeah. You know, and like, it's funny. I remember watching, it was Pearl Jam doing, what was that series that they did? It was like Storytellers in VH1 or something like that. Yeah, songwriting. And he was talking about playing Alive. Yeah. And he said, you know, same thing. He wrote the song, it's like deep, dark subject matter, but when he sang it live, like the curse was lifted, was the words that he used. And that's like that for me. Okay. Because there's this line in the song where it's like, it's really like flippant. It's like, life is hopeless, so kill yourself. Yeah. And it just comes in and like, it's changing from like a bridge to back into the verse riff, and everyone just goes, so kill yourself. And it's really, you know, grim is the word I'd use, but I have a big smile on my face when I'm saying it. You know, because it's just like, it's just beating the chest. It's kind of like, look what I came through. And you can do it too. Yeah. You know, without getting too hands across America. Yeah, of course. Know, it's kind of like, if you don't like our band, that's fine. You know, that's cool. I think you should still come see the band, because this is what you can still do if you have severe depression and suicidal depression and everything else that come with it. You can still put stuff in out there that is bad, you know, quote unquote bad, or dark and raw, and have something positive come from it.
Yeah.
So even if you don't like the band, come see us, because this is what the productive side of depression is.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it comes out and it looks like this, and it mightn't suit you. You might love it. That's great.
And it sounds like this as well.
Yeah, exactly. This is what it sounds like.
And the last song then, the closer, Spectral Embrace. Any thoughts on that one? Or why did it end up as the last song even?
That song ended up as the last song because we wrote the last riff to be a fade out.
Cool. Okay.
So in terms of being completely utilitarian, that's why it's at the end.
Yeah.
It's a nice song to finish up everything, because I noticed that we had a tendency to do the long intro,
Right.
you know, and do like the build and the build and the build, and then the song starts.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but this album was more direct,
Right.
you know, and there is one or two songs that kind of have a build up on it. But I still wanted the last song to be, you know, a gunshot, start straight away.
Nice.
And then, you know, then peter out.
Mm.
And in terms of lyrics, that's another one of Colin's.
Right.
Exactly what it's about, I think, fooling yourself.
Okay.
And again, honesty, but I think more so honesty with yourself. And, you know, we all have a hook that we like to hang our problems on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm this way because of such and such. If I only had X, things would be better.
Yeah.
I can't help it. You know, it's not my fault, essentially. You know,
Yeah.
it's a nice hands-off way, nice little place to hang all your problems on.
Yeah.
And I think that song is about that. Now, he could tell you something different,
Yeah.
but as far as I remember, that was the kind of general gist.
And it fades out then, is it?
Fades out then, and a big
can't
one of the
fucking wait to
weirdest
hear.
riff. It's like
Hear this album, man.
showing it to herself. She's like, it sounds like a weird machine. And I was like, class, because that was actually what I was thinking it sounded like, or that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was going for when me and Colin wrote that.
Yeah.
I think the two of us wrote that again in the same session where we wrote Hellfire.
Okay.
So it was pretty quick,
Mm.
because that song is like a verse, chorus, you know, in terms of structure.
Yeah, and as I said, you've really built it up for all of us now, so can't wait for that release date.
I'd like to think we'll deliver this time. You know, not that the last one was bad, quote unquote,
Yeah.
but definitely there's something there that's really good. Everyone says, oh, it's our best work
know,
today.
yeah.
It is. It
you
categorically
see,
is.
But you see, the difference is you've lived with those songs for more or less a year and a half now, more or less. Is
Yeah,
it?
that's the truth. Sure, we're gigging them
Yeah,
ages.
Yeah,
we're gigging them
exactly, yeah.
ages. So like, if the launch at the launch shows, we'd probably want to be really good. You know.
Speaking of good, congratulations on my pick as the best drummer in the Irish metal scene. So I don't know, did that get fed back to you?
No.
Okay. So we had a forum, the Metal Cell forums there with Danielle, Jack and Evan. So we all had to pick our favourite singers, guitarists, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, you made mine number one.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations. It's nice
That
to be
means a
able
lot,
to-
man. Seriously, thank you very
Nice
much.
to be able to congratulate you in person.
I pat myself in the back. I don't think you can reach across the table.
Yeah, so have a listen to it. Of course, there's a lot of great drummers on the scene. You know that yourself. Any ones in particular for you?
Ben Wanders.
Ben
Ben
Wanders.
Wanders, hands down, is best drummer in Ireland.
Wow. Okay.
Hands down. I don't
Yeah.
care what anyone else says. I don't
Yeah.
care what he says. I really don't. He just is.
Yeah.
He's just that's what you get when you get a lefty playing on a right hand kit. You know, he's just.
Oh,
he's a
really? Yeah.
freak of nature. Yeah. Freak of
Okay,
nature.
explain that a bit better.
Technically, it's called open handed.
Right.
You
Okay.
see drummers like they put the right hand on the hi-hat, so they cross their hands.
Oh, okay. Fair
As
enough.
far as I know, he studied jazz and stuff, but he plays with his left hand. It's ergonomics. It just makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you cross your hands?
Yeah.
You know, so he just plays this way, and I don't know. He's jazz
You love
bastard.
watching him. Jazz bastard. And so like I just want to go back there and reflect on 2019. Any particular highlights? You toured a serious amount.
Yeah, we definitely played a load of shows.
Yeah.
Happy about it. Happy about that. Thing about playing loads of gigs is your scarcity goes sometimes, you know, and that can be a bitter pill, you know. It can be, because we love playing shows. Everybody loves playing shows. Well,
They do.
we love playing shows.
I
And then
mean,
you play
it
loads of
takes you
shows.
away from your
Yeah, you're
ordinary
scarcity,
fucking
you know.
life,
So
what I
like,
mean?
why would you bother going seeing him this month if you can see him next month or such and such and such?
Mm-hmm.
But so we had some good shows. We had some shocking bad shows in terms of turnout. I think we played in. Where did we play and nobody turned up?
Was it in Scotland? Was it? But
No, well, that was the last one. That was the year before.
okay, yeah.
It was We got a double book gig in Belfast and we were moved to, I can't remember the name of it now. 3 people turned up. Fair play to the 3 of them.
Yeah.
But you know, there's 3 people there. We're like, "Ah." But definitely the highlight was Hammerfest.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. That was well run. Big up everybody that runs it. Draconis ran it as well. 10 ton slug.
Yes, they were actually. Yeah.
Who else? Who's one of the main headlines? Flotsam and Jetsam.
Ah, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's good crack.
My old
Crew
pals.
are playing as well. We got really drunk the first night and started singing and Ride On. That's good crack.
I think there was footage of that put up on Facebook. I think I saw you.
Yeah.
Fucking right on. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was great.
Irish
crack.
lads
It's on
on
a
the tour.
caravan park of all places.
Was it
like,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. You also played, like, I mean, you did some, like, Red Crust Festival with King's Witch were there.
Yeah, King's Witch were
King
there.
Witch and Badger Fest.
Badger Fest is great crack.
No, there's another one.
Red Cross is good as well. It was really good in that was in Scotland. Where was that in Scotland? That was in Edinburgh.
Ah, okay.
Because we went out to the Banshee Labyrinth afterwards. And that is a class venue with loads of stairs. And I fell down and I got thrown out.
It's amazing. Too much Buckfast.
Something like that. Something like that.
And of course, he played the Siege as well. Let's not forget the
I
Siege.
love the Siege. You gotta love the Siege. You gotta respect John. You gotta respect Kieran, the whole crew behind it.
Yeah.
Who never gets a shout out is Podge, the
Okay.
security dude. He's like, his team is class.
Yes, he's actually he's on. He does get recognition by John on the podcast with him. He talks about how he helped some poor misfortunate at the end of the night, gave him a cup of tea and biscuits. You know, isn't that cool? Like, you know,
that's lovely.
Yeah,
That's as good as a B&B.
he brought a Sail band and Everest.
Yeah, Sail
Everest Queen.
Everest Queen, yeah. Everest Queen, we know those boys years. Sail are new friends.
Yeah.
That they brought along with them. But that was a run of 3 gigs before the Siege, I think.
Yeah.
I know it was a run up to Siege weekend. Could have been.
And did you go back
over to the UK since? Not yet, but we're doing launch shows in Scotland.
Right.
And we'll probably go back over and do the rest of the UK later on in the year.
Yeah, that's what your pals are in Alter, isn't
They're
it?
class.
Mm.
They're really good. It is just Lamb of God and Mastodon out the wazoo.
Yeah.
It's class. Absolutely out the wazoo. The boys are great crack. And they love drinking pints too, you know. So
yeah, that's a good
kindred
combination.
spirits.
Those dates for anyone that missed them are on the 2nd in Fibbers of April, the 3rd in Sallylongs, the 4th in Fred's. I'm fucking working nights that night actually. And then you're going over to Scotland on the 9th in Inverness, the 10th in Edinburgh and the 11th in Glasgow on that tour. So that's that'll be good actually. There'll be good crack in that, and the album will be well listened to at that stage. People will be singing it back to you, hopefully.
All going well. All going well.
Merchandising for this run. What have you planned?
I suppose the usual standards, you know, your zippies, your t-shirts, your jewel case CDs.
Okay.
And then we're going to have, you know, pins and badges and patches. The usual accoutrement.
Yeah. And they're all at Zhora 1 at bigcartel.com.
That's the one,
so be sure to check them out, lads. Also, you know, one other small point. Your website is designed by a guy called Jake Wallace. Is it Jake Wallace?
Yep.
The actual Jake Wallace from Elder Druid?
The actual Jake
By
Wallace.
God, huh? I tell you,
He's a
man, I do my
multi-talented
research. I do my research. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
he's good. He's really good.
How did that come about?
I want to say Colin got in touch. No, hold on. He got in touch with us.
Okay.
And
Shout
or
out to
Colin
Jake.
figured out he did websites. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great at it. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Quick, easy to use. Sound like an ad for Wix. Quick, easy to use. Wix.
And who looks after that side of things for you? Do you have
He
much
does
of
that.
it?
He does that. So basically, we'll give him stuff to put on it.
Oh, okay. So that's it, man. I think we've everything covered. Jesus, like, it goes without saying, everybody in the Irish metal community is looking forward to the new release. Once you're happy with it, you are?
Yeah, finally.
Excellent.
Finally, you know. Took a while to get there, you know, but took a while to get there with the appreciation for the work, you know.
Yeah.
Because with the last one, like, well, we knew that what we did was really good, but wasn't 100% happy. But I genuinely am as happy as I possibly can be.
Yeah. And what length does it come in at?
It is coming in at just over 30 minutes.
Ah, okay. Jesus, that's actually...
But it feels way longer because it's so heavy. You're just like, ah.
Well, I love short albums, actually, because it's hard to kind of...
My Rain and Blood is like, what? 2 minutes long?
There you go, 28 minutes, man. I think it's 27, 28, you know.
We should do a tape and just print a boat. Just rip them off completely.
What are you actually going to release it? I presume it's on CD, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
No other format.
I'd love to get an album on vinyl, but you know the cost of it.
Yeah.
But we'll
obviously.
see. You know,
yeah,
all going well.
Okay, cool. And that's it. So be sure to follow Zhora on their social media sites and everything for the release of Mortals. Remind me.
That's the 27th of March.
March the 27th, yes.
Out in Hostile Media and all your good internet shops.
And produced by Aidan Cunningham of Bluebird Studios, just out Straffan.
Just out of Straffan Road.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, many thanks, Tom, and wish you nothing but success, and thanks for coming on.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much.
Cheers.